right, y'all. Welcome to another Woods Report. All right, you ready? Mm-hmm. So she got the hot topics from The View.
Yeah.
Okay.
The View today, Wednesday, September 14th, on The View. And our take on The View's topics today. I pretty much want to start.
Wait a minute, hold on. Okay.
With a comment that Senator Lindsey Graham, our favorite senator,
your
idiot, favorite senator,
the idiot,
made today about abortion law.
Okay,
so let's just take a listen in what he said in the news press.
Oh, okay.
At the federal level, that would say after 15 weeks, no abortion on demand, except in cases of rape, incest, to save the life of the mother. We have the ability in Washington to speak on this issue if we choose. I have chosen to speak.
I think most of the members of my conference prefer that this be dealt with at the state level.
You know, I'm 100% pro-life. And being said, I think it's more likely than not, and probably the better part of valor, to see how the states sort this out.
Yeah. Okay. He changed his view, and Joy was even saying that this helps the Democrats as far as
why?
They was just saying how thank you, Senator Graham, is helping pushing women to vote Democratic. So she's thinking, he's, I guess from what he's saying, he's stating that for 15-week abortion ban, and the states can make the decision.
Okay.
There was some concern that the states can become more, if they have the flexibility to be their law, they can make the law even harder. They can shorten the time frame. So I don't know. It's just he at first he was not for that, and now he's changed his view on it. Alyssa said the Republican Party has always decided that the state versus the government should make the decisions, because they're not about government, right? They want the states to make those decisions with the abortion.
Okay.
But she do believe that there's limitations on abortions. So I don't know. What's your take on the fact that he's changing his mind? He's made a lot of comments in the past on a lot of views, and he flip-flops.
Lindsey Graham is
thinking maybe to get some voters. He's thinking to support a certain, maybe he's getting some backlash, and he wants to.
Lindsey Graham is a flip-flopper.
He flip-flop even with his friend, McCain.
And I don't even think we had shifted over to this when we played the video, but that's fine.
We didn't?
But go ahead.
Okay.
But I think he's a flip-flopper, and he goes back and forth depending on what. Let me see. Let's do it again.
Dan, what the hell is going on? Take a look.
I think we should have a law at the federal level that would say after 15 weeks, no abortion on demand, except in cases of rape, incest, to save the life of the mother. We have the ability in Washington to speak on this issue if we choose. I have chosen to speak.
I think most of the members of my conference prefer that this be dealt with at the state level.
You know, I'm 100% pro-life. And being said, I think it's more likely than not, and probably the better part of valor, to see how the states sort this out.
Yeah, if my eyes get pregnant, I'll be sure to come to you.
You know what?
Oh, man.
So in correction, he's going back to the government doing it and not the state.
Right.
And the Republicans have always
want the state.
Okay, so I get it now, because I had to hear it again.
You know what he does? He probably did some kind of poll in his state and found out that the people don't agree with what he was trying to do. So he's a flip-flopper.
Yeah.
He goes with whatever, you can buy him.
He's always been a flip-flopper, though.
You could buy him.
And then there's been comments that he's made that has even been, he's never hardly apologizes for, but he had to take back.
Look at the lady's face standing behind him.
And they purposely do that. Ladies stand behind Lindsey.
But look at her face. With the pearls on or whatever that is. And what's with the black lady? They always got to throw a black lady in there.
What's her name on Saturday Night Live?
Who?
That plays Amy
Schumer?
Yeah.
Oh, you think so?
Not Amy Schumer. The other one that does the...
I don't know.
I can't remember her name.
But it says, I'm looking at her face. She looking at him like, we didn't agree for you to say this.
What are you saying? We wasn't planning on talking about
and
this.
he could be another comb over Trump where he misspoke and he got to come back out and say,
So
I didn't mean to say federal. I meant to say state.
Well, that's what Joy was like. Thank you, Senator Lindsey. You gonna probably push a lot of women to say, you know what, man, I ain't voting for you. I'm not supporting you.
He's such
no
an idiot.
more.
But what do people comment say?
But you know what Alyssa was saying, because I know Whoopi has always made it clear that a lot of this the Roe versus Wade turnover, it was a lot of religious reasons for it. And Alyssa was saying that it's not always religion that has caused people to do this change and making these changes with abortion laws, but for scientific reasons, like when does the child have the right, what age, and as the woman is carrying it. So it's not always religious, but it could be scientific as well. So, but yeah, that was the beginning topic that they pretty much
but look at some of the comments. It says I agree with Sonny about state rights. It's too messy and allows for corruption that violates federal laws. States should be able to decide on local issues, but big issues like gun rights should be federal, which is what I said.
Right.
It's the same for state to state, and you can't just go jump a border and get a weapon when you can't get in the state you live in. So I agree. I don't agree with the gun. Remember, I said some gun laws should be local too. I feel like
Sonny was
some
saying,
of them should be federal, but some of them should be local.
But
too.
also, Sonny had made the comment about, you see how the issues that we've had when state was overseeing things as far as laws with kids and schools and not having the same education playing field that Black kids and white kids. You saw how the state deals with marriage. You see how the states deal with the LGBTQ. So we're going to trust the states to make major decisions, and they shouldn't even be doing that.
But you can't trust the government.
I know.
The federal government,
but you know what? Alyssa did bring up a good point. She said, aren't we telling people that your local government is very important and who you put in office in your local levels? So if you're putting people in office in the cities that you're in the states that you're living in, doesn't that mean that's the level where you want people to make the decision? So it's almost like we don't want to deal with the government, which is a higher level.
Right.
Our state, at least we can try to get a governor in there and judges in there and people in there that think the way we do. So Alyssa was like, what do you want? You want the government to be, it's a bigger picture to have a government all in agreement versus the state is easier to work with because you can at least on your state level pressure them,
right.
talk, so I see what Alyssa was coming
this
from.
Guy, Zachary Peacock, he said, I am against abortion, but I'm also against taking away a person's right to choose. That goes back to when we always say everybody thinks that everybody who's pro-choice is pro-abortion.
Right.
Everybody pro-choice is not pro-abortion. Some people actually believe abortion is murder, like it's death of a baby.
Right.
But they don't believe that you should take
make the decision on your own.
Amy Carroll just subscribed. Hey, Amy.
Joy did bring up a good point. She talked about other countries and what they have as far as they're in place for their laws.
Oh, here you go. You said
abortion.
Whoopi started off so strongly, but Joy hit the nail on the head by saying that will help the Democrats in the midterms.
Yeah.
Her continuing later was even stronger, kind of what you're saying right now.
Joy was saying Europe has legalized abortion on request, not Poland and Malta. Those are the two state countries that have. And France is 16 weeks. So each country sometimes have a different time frame. Europe has comprehensive sex education, free health care. Our country, a woman gets pregnant and she may not have the health care to help her keep the baby, take care of the baby. One thing that they all agree with as far as the social funding that other countries have, social funding is very important. If you're telling the lady to keep the baby, are you going to help her pay for the baby and take care of the baby to the end?
Well, I already told you.
Alyssa was like,
life insurance policy.
Alyssa was like, being pro-life means throughout life. Remember you said what the minister,
from the womb to the tomb.
And that's the problem that we're having in this country. We want everybody to keep their babies and don't take them out. But yet there's no funding. Sometimes they'll have problems. They can't afford, there's reasons for, those choices to make. And they're not easy choices as well. So
yeah.
What other things that they say?
That's what I was saying. You can always look at people's, their comments. Sarah reading the statistics about so-called late-term abortions and Whoopi chiming in, say that again, was powerful. but Alyssa's deflection to the economy added nothing to the discussion. Did you like Alyssa? Was she cool on there?
I mean, Alyssa made her comment. I think when Sonny and Sarah kind of got in a challenge, because Sonny wanted to understand what Sarah meant by believing in, challenge Sarah for believing in limitations. I kind of see where Sarah was going when she said there's a small percentage of women who uses, who decides maybe in month number 7 and 8, I don't want this baby. I changed my mind. And Sarah and Sonny was like, well, what if the husband leaves and she can't afford the baby? And Whoopi was like, that he's not going to feel that. He's going to want the child, because what reason would a doctor abort a baby that's healthy and ready to come out?
Right.
So I don't know where Sonny was going with that, because she was probably still thinking freedom of choice. You still have the freedom to choose from the first week that the baby is developing to the last month. To the point, most people don't have abortions that late in term.
If they have medical, they probably.
If it's medical reasons,
New subscriber, Evian, I think, Muhammad. Welcome, Evian.
Okay.
In the Arizona if the Arizona princess was still on The View today when Lindsey Graham introduced his proposal, she would have there must be the Arizona princess, Megan. He's saying if the Arizona princess was still on The View.
You know what?
He must be calling that's Megan.
Megan.
If Megan was still on The View today,
Arizona princess.
when Lindsey Graham introduced this proposal, she would have a lot to answer for. Not just because Lindsey Graham is her godfather and she never full criticized him ever without both sides citing the issue, but especially because she was critical of Chris Cuomo not discussing his brother's scandal when she kept avoiding calling Graham out at points where you just cannot defend him. So his Republican people don't agree with what he said.
That's what Joy was saying. She was glad that he did make a comment.
Somebody
like that.
said, "Thank you, Mr. Lindsey, for handing the midterms to the Democrats."
That's what Joy
Maybe
said.
they can retire you so that you go and have your baby girl.
What is this flip-flopping about? What is the purpose of that? You trying to gain some, what, I don't know. What would make him say that? See, he does a lot that people go, maybe it's time for him to sit down.
It's time for him to sit down.
So, but okay. Other than that, that was that hot topic. It went on for like 2 segments because they had to still talk about, what's going on in other countries with abortion laws, and that free health care, though, is very important in other countries that we needed here as well to help these.
Listen to this lady or this man. Sonny, I'm Catholic, and I know it's hard for you to sit in a table with 3 close friends, co-workers that are pro-choice. And yes, you and I cannot control what everyone does. By abortion is a huge offense and sin towards God. No one is perfect, but we are not defending the innocent life that God has intentionally created. And pro-choice believers don't see or want to see that. It's a hard topic, but it's wrong and cruel. So he's pro-life regardless.
So my question is, even with pro-lifers, is there ever a situation, do they just feel like God will allow it to happen if that baby should pass?
I don't know.
Is it in the hands of God?
Right.
If it's a baby that's
Leave
sick,
it in the hands of God.
if it's a 10-year-old that gets that gets pregnant, if it's a woman that the baby doesn't have a skull, like they talked about today, she found out her baby is not going to have a skull.
So they aborted her?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So in those situations where there's health situations, the mom may die. We've known some mothers who had passed away after the baby was born, and it was their 7th child. Are they thinking, put it in God's hands?
Okay.
Put it in God's hands. If God doesn't want that baby to live, God will take it naturally.
This person says anything and everything that Lindsey Graham has ever said or ever will say should be written on toilet paper.
You know what?
That way it can be used and discarded
Yes.
in a manner to which its value and intended use are both accomplished.
I like when they say put it on toilet paper.
And I
You
agree
pretty much
totally
know
with
what
that. Because
You know
he's
what
a
they're talking
flip-flopper.
about.
He goes back and forth.
Uh-huh.
You don't know whoever has money in his pocket. That's what he's going to say.
That's true.
Somebody got to him. And McConnell with his no neck, he was like, he always looks mad, like, no one told you to say that, Leslie. You should have ran that by us. before you went up
We
there.
didn't give him free speech to say that.
You're a flopper. Thanks for handing over the midterms to the Democrats, Lindsay.
Man. They're going to
So,
talk about him.
it don't
They
matter.
will talk about him.
Or he'll come back like comb over.
Yeah.
And say, I made a mistake. I meant to say it should be handled on the state level.
Exactly.
So,
Okay.
mhm.
It would be nice to do the comments on their next guest. But
Right.
I guess I only did a photo of her. So
Okay.
I don't know if you wanted to go main and then.
Well, you could do the photo first. Go ahead.
Okay. You do it.
So, go ahead.
Okay. Of course.
Stacey Abrams.
This is my lady, y'all. I don't care. I don't even live in the state of
I
Georgia.
love Stacey
I
Abrams.
don't even live in the state of Georgia. But you know what?
She's so
this
nice.
woman,
She seems like down to
with
earth.
her wit,
Yeah.
I love when people not only do they speak like they know what they're talking
Exactly.
about, they know what they're talking about.
Exactly.
Because even if you were to talk with her about deep issues,
she's not
and
an idiot.
She may not have like 100% of the answer, but she'll have an answer that can get you to it.
Exactly.
And I love her.
I like people that's like that. I may not answer you, but I can find somebody who can answer that question.
Because they came at her.
Oh, they did.
Well, no, that not in a negative way. I'm
Oh.
sorry. They asked because they started out the
You
interview.
said they came at her. I'm like-
I don't mean it like that because some
Okay.
people they talked about her first debate
Okay.
with the gentleman that she's going to be debating with again
Okay.
back in 2018.
Uh-huh.
People, I need to watch that. People said they felt sorry. Kemp, who is the governor now.
Oh, yeah,
Those of
yeah,
you who
yeah.
live in Georgia, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Dude did not win that debate. So when you debating against this woman,
Yeah, you better
you
bring
better bring it.
Yeah.
She said he don't want to debate this time.
Oh, he
He's
don't?
scared. No.
He
He
shouldn't.
don't have his ducks in a row. He don't have his information. He don't, even if you, I mean, come on, dude. Debates are very important, especially for a big position like governor.
Right.
I pray, Stacey Abrams, that you become governor of Georgia.
Yeah.
You are ready. You are ready. So they did talk about that, and she was very kind in not even talking about it.
Okay.
That she won that debate and he don't want to debate. She just quickly said he don't want to debate this time.
Uh-huh.
So, are you confident, Sonny asked, that this will be a free and fair election and not a repeat performance? They was trying to catch her in the comment that she made
thinking that the
about
rigged or something.
winning. Kemp made changes. She said that voting, saying we won.
Okay.
And she was clarifying when she said we won. She said we won was referring to we won in terms of communities that were left out
Okay.
of voting process and can now vote. We were able to tackle all the issues that happened and fix those problems that the fixers that fixes it work now seeing outstanding turnouts. She's about voter registration and fairness.
Okay.
Now, you know, Georgia, I'm talking about your state if that's where you're from. They made a lot of changes. You can't have a bottle of water while you're waiting.
Right.
Stuff like that. She went specifically on Kemp made changes again with new rules for absentee voting.
Okay.
They made them stricter. They changed guidelines for absentee voting, make it harder for them. Limited access to voting, early
Okay.
voting. It's illegal to give water, for example. So she addressed all of that, and she wasn't playing. And she has a plan, and she's always about fairness and allowing everybody.
Uh-huh.
The thing that I'm concerned with, let's just say for sake of argument,
Uh-huh.
they have that whole thing. They've done their voting.
Uh-huh.
She wins by a landslide. They probably gonna come back and say there was some cheating. Y'all was doing. They gonna find like comb over is
Right,
still
right.
doing,
To find
still
something.
saying
Right.
that it was rigged.
Right.
Y'all cheated. Y'all probably had dead people you was voting for,
Right,
your dead
right.
grandmother and stuff. So it's just unfortunate.
So she said she is running for governor again.
yes, she is.
Okay.
Yes, she is.
So let's see what she say. Did you have something else about that?
They had all kinds of questions for her.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Because of one
Supreme
unlimited.
Court overturning Roe versus Wade. They had to ask her about her opinion on abortion
Uh-huh.
because she changed her view. She was pro-life.
Okay.
Now she's pro-choice.
Okay.
And changes her view on abortion. Do you think there should be any legal limitations on abortion, such as the third trimester and etc.? She believes that abortion is a medical decision, not a political decision.
Okay.
Made between the late mother and her doctor. So that was one thing that she stayed on and addressed that.
Okay.
Kind of like what Whoopi had started out talking about, like the woman who's going to have a baby with no skull.
Right.
No problems with the brain and no arms.
So
and
she
stuff
went
like
more
that.
into detail.
The doctor and the mother should
Make that
talk
decision.
about that,
Right.
and not a political, like a law that's just drawing a law to cover every situation,
Right.
Because every situation is not the same.
Okay.
But I'm curious as to some of the comments that some people made.
What else did she talk about?
Joy asked, you said if President Biden runs again, you will support him.
Okay.
And Joy was saying, and she said, yeah, she would.
Okay.
How can you ensure that Black voters will be seen and heard? One thing that Stacey said, and I definitely agree with her.
Okay.
She said, you guys don't understand the office of a governor.
It's like a mini president. Remember I told you.
Thank you, Stacey. She said
the governor is like a little mini president.
As governor. Especially when they're saying the state should make that decision.
Well, if
The
Republicans
state should make
is
that
in office,
decision.
she definitely gonna have a lot of control.
She said
Because they want it to be on the state level, not the federal
part of the
level.
reason she's running for governor is that they have more input on the state level in their role.
They do.
And she can make things happen. She can ruffle some feathers. She can move and groove. I love this woman.
She want to get some stuff done. Not just be a figurehead in Washington.
Thank you. More access to health care, maternal mortality, Black men and with the criminal issues, economic access to invest in those communities. They had asked her about the gas prices. She said one of the things that can help with the gas prices is that the jobs. They need higher paying jobs as well. So she's looking at sometimes the end of things that can be the cause of some issues, like maybe more money and getting paid, and then giving jobs to people who need them in the rural areas. She ain't playing.
She not.
And I know the one thing that's helping her is that the governor now, Governor Kemp, he ain't put a lot of stuff into action.
He ain't did nothing.
So you can actually look at him and go, okay, he didn't do that. Let me do this.
Exactly.
Okay, he said he was going to do this. Let me really do it.
Right.
That's her benchmark. Is him and the stuff he hasn't done. So I was really excited about hearing some of the things that she plans on doing as governor. She definitely wants to make sure that people with lower income are receiving the fundings and the monies instead of the people that have a higher income. She just want to make sure that things is distributed the right way.
Okay.
Like every governor should always feel about the state that they're running. So at the end of her, and this is pretty much the end, at the end of her Hot Topics interview, Whoopi just kind of like, she just paused. She said, girl, come back.
Let's see.
I can watch Whoopi's reaction at the end of her last question. She's my girl.
You keep going, keep talking.
But
they don't even show. They don't show it. They cut it off.
They cut it off.
It looked like it, but let's see.
Difficult, if not heart-wrenching decision, and to minimize it by allowing politicians to tell you what you are doing and what you are.
She ended on Joy's
question the following year in response to lawsuits that I filed and others started to fix those problems. Right. The challenge is the fixes worked.
She was still talking. You don't think it's going to the next?
Keep going.
She was still
how did
talking.
Whoopi end it? You said,
but wasn't she still talking?
I know I'm getting ready to go to the show. How did Whoopi end it? You said
it was just that she was after she made her comment about not only
she said you should come back.
She wants to bring in good paying jobs to every place, go where people are uninsured, education restored. She's saying what a lot of governors should be doing in their states, and some of them are kind of lacking in those areas. So
same one.
That wasn't the end of the abortion.
No, keep going.
Okay. But pretty much they were all excited that she's running, and they were you kind of heard the little sniggles with the current governor that he's not doing anything. So hopefully people will
but we have to work at it. And the challenge is it shouldn't be work to be a citizen in the United States.
Right.
That's the issue.
May I just say, thank
you for just admitting outright you didn't win. That's such a rare thing. She admitted it for our president. That seems like
I did.
You know how people make comments on the bottom.
Right.
Love her. Voted for her back when I lived in Georgia and would vote again in a heartbeat. If I still live there, I hope she wins in November.
Thank you.
As an Australian, I find it fascinating that you can have that silly rule that you cannot give water to someone in a line to vote.
Thank you.
This is just straightforward corruption. I don't understand why residents aren't standing up and fighting the corruption. Some of your politicians actively working against you.
Thank you.
Mama's sitting there. You must have something to say, Ma.
Oh, no, I agree.
Oh, you
She's
watched
coming
it?
in here.
No, I mean, because you wanted to wait to watch The View. You like Stacey Abrams?
I love her.
Oh, well, she said she loved her. Somebody said, wait, I thought Republicans wanted abortion to be a status rights issue. Oh, what am I saying? This is Lindsey Graham, the same guy who said Obama shouldn't seat because he shouldn't fill the Supreme Court seat because it was less than a year to an election, yet supported Barrett's appointment with less than 2 months.
5 minutes. Anna said 5 minutes.
Somebody said, I could hear her talk for hours, so humble and brilliant. Someone said, this woman continues to impress me. If they don't vote her into office, they deserve to suffer.
Thank you.
Someone said her statement that abortion is a medical decision, not a political decision. It's a traumatizing decision to make was spot on. Bravo.
Yes, it is traumatizing.
Just love her. She's so smart. Everyone, she's brilliant.
She's phenomenal.
She's phenomenal. Stacey is a warrior.
She doesn't just talk the talk. She walks the walk.
I don't see anybody say anything negative about her.
I'm waiting for them to say it.
So we can rip them apart.
Yes.
I love when somebody say something stupid in the comments and then you can just go after. Somebody said, I have a bumper sticker on my car that says, if I wanted the government in my womb, that's not good. I F a senator. Stacey Abrams is a brilliant speaker and a genuine advocate for people in the best of ways. Really appreciate the opportunity to hear what she has to say with intelligent, fact-based insight, compassion, commitment. Really believe in what she stands for and truly hope the state of Georgia opens their hearts and minds to understand her leadership ability and potential as governor. They outclass Kemp in every way.
Yes. She makes Kemp look real bad. And the fact that he doesn't want to debate with her.
Well, he's an idiot.
He was an idiot on the time he did debate with her. Yeah. And he lost.
Okay. So that was good. So your closeout thing, she was a good guest.
Mm-hmm. And she gave facts. She was very clear with her answers. And she really reminded the people what the current government is not doing, the governor.
New subscriber, Karan Loney Whiteside. Okay. I hope I said your name right.
Okay.
Welcome to our new subscriber.
Welcome. So yeah, that's my girl.
They really giving
That's my shero.
Okay. So your next one?
The next one they talked about, Mama, did you need to go in there?
She listening. She listening to our show, y'all. Go ahead. We got one audience member.
Jamila Jamil. She's from Pakistan.
One audience member.
You know what? She's very vocal.
Okay.
And I like her energy. She don't mess around when she says things and how she feels. Mm-hmm. This is my first time meeting her. I don't know. She's probably been in other movies.
You've seen her before?
Other TV. I've never seen her before.
Okay.
But she's actually the villain. One of the villains in She-Hulk.
Okay.
Disney series that I believe launched in August.
They've been talking about She-Hulk because Megan Thee Stallion was on there.
Yes. Okay. It seemed like it's going to be a really nice show.
Okay.
Marvels. Her name, her villain, super
villain
Disney
name is
Marvel. Marvels. It says Disney's comedy series. Is Marvel part of Disney?
Go ahead.
Tatanina.
Okay.
Tatiana or something. Is her villain name.
Okay.
One of the things I was writing down some of the stuff she wanted because she was saying a lot. Of course they're gonna ask her the same thing with the whole. Well, they asked her what does she like.
They just asking everybody about abortion.
Well, there was the big talk.
Every time somebody come out, the cameraman, they gonna ask
how
him.
You feel about abortion?
You
feel pro-choice? Are you pro-choice?
She thinking she coming out and talking about She-Hulk.
But what do you love about playing that character? Because she's a villain.
Okay.
And she said she loves the fact that it's her ethnicity. A lot of times you don't see women from Pakistan, her background, as villains in superhero shows. Because of the martial arts training. Okay. So she says she's actually used it for real. Okay. But she loves the fact that she's trained and she's not afraid now. She's like, I flip you. Okay. I don't mess with you. And she's very energetic, though. Okay. I like her personality. Sunny asked about her kissing. She loves Whoopi. They got a picture of her on the Star Walk of Fame, Whoopi's, and she was on the ground in that fetal position, kissing the. She said, "I probably got some." What did Whoopi say? Whatever. Whoopi just smiles, but she said, "Whoopi is my favorite," and she said she had to kiss her star.
People keep forgetting how famous Whoopi Goldberg is.
She has a history. Yeah. She's done a lot. Same thing you did. Women, so you always do that line from The Color Purple.
Everything you done to me, already done to you. Anything come for me? Maybe they is, maybe they ain't. It's my favorite line. Go ahead.
That mean man, Mister. I ain't like Mister.
You gonna sit here at your own table and listen to the what do you say? I forgot what he said.
Oh my God!
Like a servant or something. He said, "You gonna sit here at your own dinner table and let her think to you like the servant?" Or something he said.
Yeah, but she said Whoopi was her idol. Mm-hmm. Alyssa asked, "You're a longtime activist that started a mental health movement. Mm-hmm. iWay tells us about helping others in your journey. Remember we talked about mental illness and mental health?" And that a lot of people are suffering from mental health issues. Yeah. She did. She suffered from it maybe 5-6 years ago. Okay. So she has an organization that she's put together that helps people that, get some help. Mm-hmm. She struggled with her own mental illness, mental issue, make people feel okay about not feeling okay. People need to come forth. If they're not feeling okay and mentally they just have some issues, it needs to be an open door policy for them to just speak on it.
To be able to
talk
about
you said, there's some entertainers who actually cancel a concert or something because of
well, I told concern. You the weekend. Was it the weekend? Yeah. And
I thought it was his voice.
Yeah, you're right. It was
the other guy. The other guy. What's his name?
I don't remember.
He had mental concerns.
Some of them have,
Yeah. So everybody's starting to talk about that, I noticed. Yeah. So they asked her about that. And then they asked a discussion on what you should do reaching that. Remember they talked yesterday about what's the milestones when you reach about 40. Okay. What's some things that you feel you want to have done.
I was supposed to put that on a community wall.
Milestones by 40. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that at age? She's 36. Okay. She said, really? Like Whoopi was saying, stop telling women what to do. Okay. What putting in place this pressure. Right. She's 36.
And you could go to school at 60. It doesn't matter
what she said. She said, I had a roommate still. She said, I don't want any kids right now, and I don't want to get married.
Exactly.
She's 36. So she don't have no milestones like, you're going to get married by 40.
Everybody always do
that. You're going to have a baby by 40. You're going to do that, buy your house by 40. Yeah. So like Whoopi was saying the other day, don't put pressures on people.
People should just do what they want.
Just do what you want. If you want to become an actor at 70, do that. A comedian, like Joy said. Mm-hmm. Did like we was teasing about abortion. Mm-hmm. Joy asked her about abortion. She had one. She personally had one.
I'm surprised she came out public.
She said, she agrees with what Stacey said, it's being a medical decision. She said people do not use abortion as contraceptive, not the big percentages that people think. Because back in the day, we always used to think you're using it as a contraceptive. Oops, I had a mistake. Oh, that's abort. Now she did use the morning after pill right after it, after she had and then she said the condom broke. Oh, okay. So it broke on her. But she said
she's telling all her business.
Yeah, she said she took the morning after pill after 6 hours. She was over a certain amount of pounds where the contraceptive failed.
Iron Cole's cash.
Who talks about that?
She telling everything. That's what I'm saying.
They were at the table going, you have to be over a certain weight for your contraceptive can fail on you. And she said, a lot of people don't know that. You got to know your body.
We ain't never been small.
I know.
So that ain't even in our atmosphere.
May not even help us. We too big.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, she was over 165.
Okay.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So big women, fluffy women, I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
But she did talk about her own personal abortion that she had. And she had her medically, she, went and did what she needed to do. But some women have been open and honest about it, and they maybe regret. Some women have they would like the fact that they had that, they made that decision on their own and not a government telling them yay or nay or a state. So the whole thing is still about pro-choice, pro-life. Do you think, Sonny asked, do you think society has evolved with the cancel culture? Mm-hmm. She didn't mean to tear Sonny down with the reply, because she's like, I'm tired of cancel culture. Mm-hmm. She said, how do we bring people together? That's what she's all about. Right. Not canceling them because of what they said, what they did. She said, we are suffering from the same things together. As long as we keep screaming at each other, not worried about canceling someone. I mean, It's like, get in another place. So she got the same thing. She got the same mind canceling culture. Okay. And she said, just for an example, Pakistan, my country, she said, people don't even know that part of our country is underwater right now. Yeah. We're talking about other stupid stuff. That was on there. And we'll be at to go, you guys are suffering from underwater. Yeah, they don't talk about that. They talking about this comedian who made a comment about some heavy woman coming in and sitting in saw that. The Pakistan flood. Did y'all see that? There's a flood. So she's saying that's my country. No one's talking about that on the news. Nobody. So she brought up a good point. Bring awareness to things that's important. Let's see. Helping people, not trying to cancel them. Yeah. See? In Pakistan's record floods, villages are now in desperate islands. Yes. Yeah, they were saying that it's really bad. You don't even hear that on the news. You're hearing Lindsey Graham's comment about flip-flopping. This guy said, we are living on an island now. Yes. Wow. See, they don't talk about that. No. They pick and choose. The news media picks and choose because they figured a Lindsey Graham comment about abortion will win. Look at that. See? That look like Italy. That's an that looks like, what is it? The Japan with the tsunami? No. Italy, where we went to. Venice. That looks like Venice. With the boats. Venice in the water. They're all in the water now in boats. That's crazy. Yep. So that was a comment she made at the end of her interview. It said the worst hit areas in, I don't know how to say, Providence, southern Pakistan. The flood water has completely submerged roughly 300 villages and maroon scores of others. Across the province, around 40,000 square miles of land. About the size of the state of Virginia is now underwater. That's what she said on The View. Like the state of Virginia being underwater. And I'm glad that she put that plug in because it's letting people know, that's right, Pakistan is having some issues with flooding. But yeah, you asking me questions about cancel culture. Who cares about cancel culture? Still, their living conditions are miserable. Mm-hmm. Fever and waterborne diseases are rampant. Yeah. The area has been hit with, what is that? Y'all, I can't read. What is that? Monsoon rains and heat waves since it was submerged. Yeah. The government has shut off power to the area, a safety measure to prevent people from getting electrocuted. Yes, Lord. Plunging the villages into darkness each night. Most villages have not received any aid, residents say. Yeah. So she pretty much made it known that. Look at that. If we continue. Look at that. Yeah. Isn't that sad? Look at the poles. So they won't get electrocuted. But imagine how high that water is. Look at they on a piece of wood. A piece of wood. Can you imagine living here? No. The Katrina was a little bit of that. Not a whole state. On top of buildings. A whole state? I know. The size of a whole state, yeah. Katrina was an area, but that was just a hint of... Nearly everyone in the village is sick with malaria and typhoid. Oh. Nobody's talking about that. They're talking about stupid buckethead Lindsey Graham. Right. Exactly. But yeah, I was looking at that. When you said that, I remember seeing that Pakistan is underwater. Mm-hmm. And she had to mention that on The View. So, but she pretty much was stating it's kind of like what Stacey Abrams was saying too, as far as if we don't do better with our laws and whether you're pro-choice, pro-life, whether you're Republican, Democratic, we're not doing things and coming together and loving one another and making sure people are taken care of. She said, "Let me look. We'll fail."
And you started a mental health movement called I Weigh. Yes. Can you talk to us a little bit about helping others on your journey? What your goal was with that? Listen, okay, it's probably no stranger to anyone who's ever seen me on Twitter. I've struggled with my mental health for a very long time. And I don't think it's something that is ever going to get better if we make people feel ashamed of it. And so with my large platform, I have an ability to reach a lot of people and make them feel okay about not being okay. And what we've done is we've expanded our way from no longer just being about mental health, but also being a safe space to learn about different groups or different politics that maybe you haven't grown up knowing about. We live in a world that can really condemn people when they don't know everything and they don't speak about everything perfectly, and I don't think that that's very helpful. I don't care. Thank you.
Oh, let's see what people said about her. I love the way the hosts are looking at her. They adore her. Plus, that's the first time I've ever seen Joy Clapp go for a guest. Is it?
I don't even know.
Oh, they trying to be funny?
I don't know.
Bravo, Jamila, speaking the truth all the way around. We as a society need to understand that we all are affected by worldly and global issues.
Yes.
I'm a man, yet I know I shouldn't tell women what to do with their bodies. Housing and global warming are two issues I agree with that need to help solving. We all can see it's getting hotter and colder than normal. We all see more trailers and homeless people, yet we ignore those issues.
Mental health is, it's real.
See, beautiful women, wonderful message, great interview, fantastic guests with a brilliant, refreshing outlook.
Yes.
She is so straight to the point. She is real.
Yep.
Okay, so they like her.
And
this is the first time we've seen her.
They've had 2 real women guests on the show today. It was about being real in both of their interviews.
Whoopi looking so proud of her is everything. I hope Jamila got a hug or something afterwards. A standing ovation maybe afterwards. She's amazing. She speaks so well and has that showbiz in her. She's the real deal. So everybody being nice again. Okay, everybody being nice. All right. Usually they say something negative about somebody, but both, like you said.
The only negative that she did receive is when it was after her She-Hulk. It was some picture. She had to do some kind of scene, and there was a photo of her, and her hair was just kind of all over the place, and people were slamming her for looking that way. And she had to apologize. She said, "You guys, I just did a scene where I had to do a lot of movement. Okay. So my hair was kind of like all over. I apologize, but they took the picture, and you know."
Somebody said, they talk so much about cancel culture and abortion and Trump. Jamil is right. Pakistan is underwater.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was good.
So it was a good show today.
Okay.
Because it had my favorite. It had my favorite. That was it. It had my favorite Stacey Abrams on. And I got to meet Jamila. What's her name? Jamil. Okay. And her care even before.
Oh, she got 2 Jamil.
Well, her name is Jamila Jamil.
Oh, wow.
Jameela. Last name Jamil.
Wow.
I may have been saying
that's
it wrong.
hard. That's a hard name.
Jamil. It could be pronounced wrong differently.
Okay.
So. But yeah, that was good listening to them talk today.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Did you have anything else?
That was it.
All right. So don't forget.
I probably want to see the She-Hulk.
Oh, okay.
It's called She-Hulk. Attorney at Law.
And I think it's a man that plays She-Hulk. Because I saw him on TikTok.
That's not a lady?
When she turns into the Hulk. You know how when they turn into a Hulk, it's another person?
Yeah.
Like Lou Ferrigno.
But I just thought she turns green. She's green.
No, remember she's a regular lady. And then when she turns to She-Hulk, she's another.
I thought she was
in the real Hulk.
But I thought she was just a 6 foot.
No, remember David Banner. No, you're thinking of like Wonder Woman. Remember David Banner was regular David Banner.
Where you get that from?
On TikTok. Remember David Banner is regular
David. But he was still a man.
You're not listening.
Where do you hear that she's a man
Let's
when she
try
turns
it
into the
again.
Hulk?
I didn't say a man. A man plays her when she's the Hulk.
But it's a man as
a woman.
up.
Okay.
I was like, that's not a man when they show
her.
No. That's what I meant.
Like David Banner as a man, and then Lou
Ferrigno
played him.
No problem.
So this one,
because they needed someone big,
a regular lady, and then when she's She-Hulk, apparently this guy plays She-Hulk.
Oh, okay.
He was on TikTok
with a wig on.
I think he has real long hair or something. I don't remember. He's a muscle guy though.
Wow.
I believe he's She-Hulk.
He becomes the Hulk, She-Hulk.
Yeah,
he's she though playing as
played.
She.
But there's women that's big enough that could have played the real She-Hulk.
I don't know. I don't know how big he is. He must be 6'7" or something.
Oh, all right, y'all. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe,
and always believe.
And always believe.
Yes.
All right. What was I supposed to say? That was another Woods Report. All right. Now let's do busy talk. You know how we still on. You know how when you go off, you still do busy talk?
What's busy talk?
We still live. We busy talk like now. Remember when we used to film in the Comcast and I told them
to stream though?
Well, remember it takes a while. So remember you talk